Summer rain is falling on the boulevard. We were young enough to think love wasn't hard. Your denim jacket hanging off my chair, and that old cassette still playing everywhere. We used to drive till the sunrise came alive, two runaway hearts trying to survive. No destination, no map, no plan, just your fingers wrapped around my head. Back then the world felt wide and free, like nothing could ever break you and me. Broken wings and radio dreams, that's all we were in those days. Running wild through endless nights, trying to find our place. And even though life changed everything, I still hear your voice in me, like an old slow rock melody. Broken wings and radio dreams. Now these city nights feel colder than before. Different faces walking through revolving doors. Everybody searching for something real, but few remember how freedom used to feel. I found your letter in an old guitar case, and suddenly time couldn't keep pace. Every word still carried your perfume, like you never Midnight drives for miles, living for music and your reckless smile. We thought these nights would never disappear. Now they only visit me once a year. Time keeps moving faster than Porch light burned till after 2. We'd sit out there and talk it through about the world and what it owed, and all the harvest we had sowed. The floors would creak, the kettle sing. You'd hum along to everything. That little house on Maple Road was everything I'll ever know of home. But rented rooms don't last forever. Rented love, however tender, has to find another place to go when the lease runs out and the cold wind blows. Heaven was a house we rented, beautiful and unintended. When you laugh inside those paper walls, and the echo of your footsteps down the hall. Heaven was the time we borrowed, with no thought of the coming sorrow. Now I walk through someone else's door, and I'm looking for what we had before. I'm looking for our heaven anymore. We didn't know that it would end. We thought that love could always mend the small cracks in the morning light, the arguments that bled through night. But houses fall when left unbuilt, and love corrodes beneath the silt of time and pride and letting go of small things that we both should have known. I drove past it on a Tuesday, painted over change come into the cup, I see the way your eyes have lost their fire, and how the road has taken something higher than you thought you'd ever have to pay for being who you are from day to day. But I have seen you at your absolute most brilliant and most beautifully acute, and I refuse to watch you disappear into the gray of someone else's fear. I refuse to let the story end this way, with everything you are just fading gray. Rise with me tonight, above the doubt and all the pain tonight, and let the stars know your name. You were built for more than this, more than breaking in the dark. And show the world the fire in your heart, the fire in your heart. I know the nights have been your enemy. I know the mirror's been unkind to see. I know you've talked yourself into the ground until the silence was the only sound. But silence is a liar wearing truth, and tired is not permanent, it's just a bruise. And every single person who became someone extraordinary felt this same. You think the world has moved beyond your reach. You think the things you want are past the breach. But I am standing here with both hands out, ready to be proven wrong about your doubt. Rise with me tonight. Don't let the darkness win the war. Me tonight. That's what the darkness is there for, to make the rising sweeter, to make the light more real. Rise with me tonight, and let me show you how it feels to be alive, to actually feel I have been where you are standing. I have stood at this exact edge and looked out over all that nothing, and felt the pull beyond the ledge. And what brought me back was someone standing close enough to say, you are not finished, you are not done, you are not the worst of what today has made you feel you are. You are the sum of every beautiful intention, every brave and broken try, every morning that you made it through. You have no idea how strong you are. You have no idea how bright, how absolutely necessary you are. So I am that voice for you tonight, the way someone once was for me. Rise up! Rise up! Rise up! the cup. I see the way your eyes have lost their fire, and how the road has taken something higher than you thought you'd ever have to pay for being who you are from day to day. But I have seen you at your absolute most brilliant and most beautifully acute, and I refuse to watch you disappear into the gray of someone else's fear. I refuse to let the story end this way, with everything you are just fading gray. Rise with me tonight.
Summer rain was falling on the boulevard. We were young enough to think love wasn't hard. Your denim jacket hanging off my chair, and that old cassette still playing everywhere. We used to drive till the sunrise came alive, two runaway hearts trying to survive. No destination, no map, no plan, just your fingers wrapped around my hand. Back then the world felt wide and free, like nothing could ever break you and me. Broken wings and radio dreams, that's all we were in those days. Running wild through endless nights, trying to find our place. And even though life changed everything, I still hear your voice in me, like an old slow rock melody. Broken wings and radio dreams. Now these city nights feel colder than before. Different faces walking through revolving doors. Everybody's searching for something real. If you remember how freedom used to feel, I found your letter in an old guitar case, and suddenly time couldn't keep pace. Every word still carried your perfume. We met in the shadow of a Sunday afternoon. You were light through colored glass, and I was smoke-filled room. Two things that don't belong together, everyone could see. But belonging never stopped you reaching out for me. Your hands are clean and mine are stained. With every road I run, you believed in something holy, I believed in none. But somehow in the middle of our broken difference, we built something that I'd swear to before any witness. I've been in cathedrals and I've been in gutters. I've seen the best of men reduced to mumbles and shudders, but nothing I have witnessed in this long and ragged life moved me like the morning you decided to be mine. Smoke and stained glass, that's what we were. Smoke and stained glass, and the world just blurred. The holy and the broken finding common ground. Smoke and stained glass, the most beautiful sound of two lives colliding on sacred and scarred. Smoke and stained glass, two worlds, one heart. The congregation whispered and the neighbors shook their heads. Two people too different to be sharing prayers and beds. But we were something that the careful world can't understand. The fire and the water and the sea becoming land. You taught me how to sit still in the early morning light. I taught you that the darkness has its own kind of right. And somewhere in the teaching, we forgot to be afraid of all the beautiful, impossible we'd made. I've been running from the righteous and the righteous thing to do, but nothing felt more righteous than the life I built with you. So call it what you want to, call it foolish, call it strange. I call it the one miracle that didn't need explaining. Smoke and stained glass, that's what we were. Smoke and stained glass, and the world just blurred. The holy and the broken finding common ground. Smoke and stained glass, the most beautiful sound of two lives colliding on sacred and scarred. Smoke and stained glass, two worlds, one heart. When you left, they said I told you so. Smoke and glass don't mix, they said, you know. But I've seen smoke rise up to heaven every dawn, and I've seen glass hold light when everything is gone. So don't tell me that we were wrong. Don't tell me that we never should have been. The most beautiful things in this world should never have happened, but did. God did. Smoking stained glass, that's still what we are. Smoking stained glass, near and broken far. The holy from the broken, and the broken found the grace. Smoking stained glass, the most sacred place, was every single moment that you called me yours. Smoking stained glass, eternal and pure. Eternal and pure. Stained glass, every broken, beautiful thing was us. I built my wall so high, the sun forgot to come. I wore my armor even sleeping, even numb. I told myself that strong meant never letting go, that real men didn't bleed where other people know. But then you came with all your hurricane and light, and tore the whole constructed fortress overnight. And standing in the rubble of everything I'd made, I found the only real thing I had never said. I'm not as strong as I have led you to believe. I'm not the stone I've made myself out to be. Beneath the silence and the stillness and the pride, it's just a man who's terrified inside. I'm brave enough to break, brave enough to show the cracks, brave enough to break and not pretend I can hold back. All these years of keeping everything inside, I'm brave enough to love you, brave enough to try, brave enough to break for the first time in my life, brave enough to break. The night I almost called you from the parking lot, I sat there for an hour with what I almost got. The courage to admit that I was lost without the kind of love I never learned to live without. I drove home in the rain and told myself again that needing someone was a weakness and a sin. But sinners never felt as honest as
You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to be completely human and completely that breaking is the bravest thing of all my life. The bravest thing of all my life. Breaking and brave. Breaking and brave. Finally free. I had 1,000 chances at the table. I had 1,000 mornings side by side. But I was always either too distracted or too proud to let you see me from inside. I'd start the sentence, then I'd lose my nerve. I'd feel the words and then I'd watch them curve back into silence where they always went. A million unsaid things, a man unspent. And now the table's set for one at dinner. And now the morning comes for only me. And everything I kept inside for safety is the very thing destroying what I breathe. Everything by side. I had 1,000 chances at the table. I had 1,000 mornings side by side. I had 1,000 chances at the table. I had 1,000 mornings side by side. But I was always either too distracted or too proud to let you see me from inside. I'd stop the sentence and I'd lose my nerve. I'd feel the words and then I'd watch them curve back into silence where they always went. The apartment's dark except the street light through the blind. It cuts across the ceiling in a pattern I can find. At 3 a.m. when everything that held me has let go, and all I have is wanting you with nowhere left to go. I've counted all the reasons this is foolish and is wrong. I've written them and burned them, and I've hummed them like a song. But desire doesn't answer to the rational and clear. Desire only answers in the dark, and you are here. Every city sleeps, but I am wide and raw awake. Every ordinary life around me rests at peace. But I am in the fire of a longing for your voice that swallows every reason and leaves nothing but the choice to reach into the darkness and admit what I have been carrying through every daylight that I should have said long since. Desire in the dark is the most honest thing I know. Desire in the dark is where the real feelings go. Where the daylight's done pretending and the night tells what is true. Oh, my desire in the dark is reaching out for you. Always reaching out for you. I found your number written on a paper in my coat, the one I wore the night you leaned across and wrote it slowly with a smile that said you knew exactly what you were beginning and what doors were being shut on the version of my life that was predictable and fine. The version where I didn't cross the room and make you mine, or try to, that's the word, try to not succeed. Because you are not something that a man can own. You're something that a man can only need. apartment with a street light on the ceiling and your name inside my mouth. I am losing the one that says be careful, be considered, be the man who doesn't reach. I am losing it to the one that says some things are worth the reaching, even when, especially when the reaching teaches everything you've missed. But the desire in the dark is the truest part of me, the part that knows, the part that feels, the part that cannot let you go, cannot let you go. In the dark, in the dark, still yours, still wanting, still. We met at the edge of a season when everything felt possible and new. You smiled like someone who had reasons, and I had none, so I invented two. We talked till the restaurant closed around us. We sat in your car till the cold came in, and something that had no name found us right there, between almost and begin. And we knew, we always knew, that we were beautiful and slightly broken. Two people fluent in the almost, and terrible at the things less spoken. We were good at being almost happy, almost whole, almost saying all the right things, almost giving all our souls. We were experts in the in the hallway, in the space between goodbye and hold me closer, between the leaving and the stay. We were so good at being almost. We almost moved in come October. You almost stayed that final night. We almost had the conversation that might have finally gotten it right. But almost has a way of protecting us from the terror of the real and true. And I think we chose the almost consciously, because the real was too much to get through.
in our beautiful broken golden almost. Almost is not nothing. Almost is not less. Almost, when it's us, was always, always the best.